Good morning, and thank you all for coming today. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Ojibwe and Anishinaabe people, land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples for thousands of years. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. It is an honor to be here today and to be joined by the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Rod Phillips, Minister of Long-Term Care, and Honourable Vic Fedeli, Minister of Economic Development and MPP for Nipissing, and His Worship Mayor Al McDonald of North Bay. I would also like to welcome Dino Chiazza, Chair of the Sienna Board of Directors, as well as Elaine Lebol, Chair of Resident Council, and Tina Golding, a member of the Family Council, who are here to represent the Water's Edge care community. I'm very pleased to welcome everyone to the site of what will be our newest long-term care community, which will be the successor to the Water's Edge care community. I know we are currently being live streamed at Water's Edge right now, so warm greetings to residents, visitors, and team members who are watching. I want to take this opportunity to convey how grateful we are to the provincial government for their support throughout the entire pandemic in our fight against deadly COVID-19. Today, we are in an entirely different place than we were a year ago, and one of the main reasons for this progress is the arrival of the distribution of vaccines. The Ford government's decision to prioritize seniors, frontline healthcare workers, and essential caregivers has been absolutely critical to conquering this devastating virus in our retirement homes and care communities. Given the events of the past 15 months, events like today are more meaningful than ever. Water's Edge Care Community, which has been serving North Bay since 1981, is not only home to more than 100 seniors, it is a vibrant part of North Bay. And the Sienna team members at Water's Edge are the personification of our efforts to ensure that seniors live with utmost dignity and respect. Thanks to the relentless dedication and commitment of the team members and government support, there has not been a single resident case of COVID-19 at Water's Edge throughout the entire pandemic. And when our ambitious new modern care community is completed on the property directly behind us, the new building will be a matching reflection of the high-quality care residents receive day in and day out from our dedicated team members. I'm also pleased to share that this new care community will be an example of the modernized living spaces that we continue to build for Canadian seniors. The design standards of this new 160-bed care community will provide the best in infection prevention and control practices and comforts, including air conditioning throughout the building and in individual resident rooms, all within a home-like setting where residents can enjoy the best quality of life and where team members will be proud to work. This $55 million redevelopment will be one of the biggest construction projects in the city and will create many construction jobs for the next few years, followed by additional jobs at the new care community. The modern new care community that will soon be here would not be possible without the strong support of the Government of Ontario. As such, I'm very proud to invite the Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford, to say a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Nitin, and it's great to be here in North Bay. What a beautiful town it is. And my friends, I'm joined today with Minister Fideli, and we have the whole team, Minister Rod Phillips, and just great to be here. We're going to build the most beautiful long-term care home this town's ever seen, and we're happy to be able to break ground today on the site of Water's Edge Care Community, which will soon be home to 160 long-term care residents. We're getting shovels in the ground to build much-needed long-term care spaces throughout the province. And as we safely emerge from COVID-19 pandemic, we're rebuilding Ontario's long-term care system to be stronger and more resilient. That's why our government is making a $2.6 billion investment in long-term care to increase much-needed capacity and bring our long-term care homes into the 21st century. And while there are still too many seniors on the wait list, we're taking action to fix it and breaking ground to build new long-term care homes just like this one today right across the entire province. For example, right now we have 80 new long-term care projects in progress across the province, with over 20,000 new spaces and over 15,000 modernized and upgraded spaces already in the pipeline, so that we can provide the highest quality of care for our most vulnerable. This includes the 160 spaces that will be built right here at Water's Edge, directly behind me, and folks, you can see the beautiful view that people will have. We're also ensuring our long-term care residents receive the highest standard of care, because they deserve nothing less. That's why we will provide each resident with 4 hours of daily direct care, making Ontario a leader in long-term care in North America. That's very good. We're also investing $4.9 billion over 4 years to create more than 27,000 new positions for personal support workers and nurses to make this possible. Protecting our loved ones and ensuring they receive the level of care they deserve is at the heart of everything we do. At Water's Edge, residents will enjoy comfort, safety, and world-class care. This project will bring us another step closer to delivering 30,000 much-needed new long-term care beds over the next 10 years. Folks, to put that into perspective, the previous government in 15 years delivered 600 long-term care beds. We're delivering 30,000. Our seniors built this province, and we are fully committed to rebuilding our long-term care system to serve them better. Now, I'll hand things over to Minister Phillips to share some details about this tremendous project. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Ford, and it is great to be with you here in North Bay on the future site of the Water's Edge Care Community Project. Thank you also to Minister Fedeli, the MPP for Nipissing. I was pleased to drive across at Trout Creek and see the Vic Fedeli sign and know that I'm in Fideli country, and Nitin, Jain, President and Chief Executive Officer of Sienna Seniors Living, for being here today. After decades of neglect, our government is repairing and rebuilding Ontario's long-term care sector. In order to do this, as the Premier said, we're investing $2.68 billion in projects like this one across the province. Between 2011 and 2018, only 611 net new beds were built across the province. Our government has a plan to build 30,000 in a decade, and we're making good progress. Over 20,000 new and 15,000 upgraded spaces are under development, more than 60% of our goal. The 12 new and 148 new upgraded beds here at Water's Edge Care Community are part of that plan. That is 160 long-term care spaces for seniors in the North Bay community to call home, near their family, near their friends. And these spaces will be in a brand new facility on this site. Now, this home is scheduled to be completed and ready for residents in the spring of 2023. And I understand as well from Nitin that there is a new name that will be voted on by the residents and staff, because obviously we're a little further from the Water's Edge than the last facility. So we'll look forward to hearing the outcome of that vote. The Water's Edge development project builds on the many actions our government is taking to repair and rebuild long-term care in North Bay and across Ontario. Later today, I'll be visiting Canadore College to meet with students who are training to become personal support workers. The program they're enrolled in is part of $200 million of investment we've made to help train 16,500 new PSWs at Ontario's publicly assisted colleges, private career colleges, and district school boards. Training new SPWs is an important part of our government's commitment to ensuring long-term care residents receive, as the Premier said, 4 hours of direct care per day, the highest of any province in Canada. No other province in Canada is working towards the level of quality of care, and under Premier Ford's leadership, we will meet this commitment. Now, in order to do this, we need to hire more than 27,000 new staff. That includes registered nurses, registered practical nurses, personal support workers, and allied health professionals, and of course, support staff. We're investing $4.9 billion over 4 years to make this happen, and the PSW training programs, like the one here at Canadore College, are an important part of that plan. I'm also going to be meeting with staff at the District Nipissing Emergency Medical Services to talk about the community, paramedicine, and long-term care program. There are currently more than 40,000 people on the wait list for long-term care beds in Ontario. That means the average wait time is 147 days. The Community Paramedicine Program for Long-Term Care helps seniors safely live in their homes while they wait for a space. This program can give seniors access to help like 24/7 non-emergency health services, non-emergency home visits, home testing and monitoring of conditions to reduce emergency visits. Nipissing District is one of 33 communities that has participated in this program since we started it last year, and I'm looking forward to speaking with local paramedics about their experiences and how we can make the program work. As the new Minister of Long-Term Care, I'm looking forward to learning more about the unique needs of North Bay and how I can work with my colleague, Minister Fedeli, and of course with the Mayor and his Council to meet these needs. Thank you, and I'll now turn the floor over to Minister Fedeli.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. It's great to be here this morning for another really beautiful addition to North Bay. We're here to congratulate the team at the new Waters Ed project and to underscore our government's commitment for support. To Nitin and the excellent team at Sienna Senior Living, congratulations, and thank you for having the confidence in North Bay in order to make this investment. This new facility is great news for many local seniors and their families right here in North Bay, and it will continue the proud tradition of excellence Sienna has shown in their long and successful history here in North Bay. When this facility is completed, as you've heard, it will house our friends and neighbors in 160 safe, comfortable spaces right here in our city. And we're also taking action to improving living conditions in existing homes. For example, just down the highway at East Home for the Aged, they're receiving over $5 million in joint funding for upgrades to their HVAC system and to install new windows. You know, having a safe, comfortable place to live is so important for residents in long-term care. But the care they receive is just as important. And that's why, as you've also heard, we're investing $4.9 billion over 4 years to ensure residents receive, on average, 4 hours of direct care per day. We will need to hire 27,000 more staff, including personal support workers and nurses, to make this happen. And I bring it up again because we're so proud that Canadore College is playing a part in this staffing plan. They're one of the colleges participating in the accelerated PSW training program. Ontario needs PSWs who have received the education and training required to provide high-quality care to residents living in long-term care homes. And we know that Canadore College is giving its PSW students the tools they need to succeed as they begin their new careers. And as Minister Phillips mentioned, Nipissing District is part of our innovative community paramedicine program for long-term care. Through this program, our local paramedics are helping seniors across Nipissing District to live and stay in their homes while they wait for long-term care space. So this is just another way our government is delivering for the people of Nipissing. We're making these crucial investments in infrastructure, people, and services needed to ensure long-term care residents and their families receive the care they need in modern place they can call home. And Sienna is making a crucial investment in their infrastructure, in their people, and their services right here in North Bay. In Nitin, that is a winning partnership. We now have the pleasure of welcoming the Mayor of the City of North Bay, Mayor McDonald.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by saying welcome, Premier, to our beautiful city. And I'm in my 11th year as mayor, and I can tell you when your government was elected, it was the first time that we felt partnership with the provincial government in my term in 11 years. So I want to thank you for your dedication to us and municipalities. You listened and you bring experience when you sat on Toronto City Council, and you get it. And I just want to say that we feel it, and we want to show our appreciation. And secondly, just to thank you for your leadership through the pandemic. There is no book, there's no rule book, there's no guide, but you've led us through the pandemic, and that's I'm proud Ontarian with you in your leadership role in your team. So I just want to recognize that. To Minister Phillips, thank you for being here, and congratulations. I think this is a really important role that you've taken on, and I've enjoyed working with you in the past, and I think you're going to do an incredible job in that portfolio. So, Premier, thank you for picking an excellent representative of your government to stand up for seniors that we've just met this morning. And of course, to our member, Minister Fideli, who is always there, takes my call. As a matter of fact, he'll return my call within a minute or two. Sorry, Premier, because I think he actually puts you on hold when he takes my call. But I just want to say that our member has been a tremendous friend to the city of North Bay and to the north. Your whole government has been a friend to the north, and you haven't forgotten us up here. And we live in a beautiful country, as you can see. To Sienna, thank you. $55 million investment, 160 beds. Just do the math. 160 beds, $55 million. Thank you for your investment and confidence in our community. You couldn't have picked a better spot for seniors. This is outstanding. It's just incredible. And I can imagine the seniors when they're sitting here overlooking that lake in our downtown. It is a special, special place. From a City of North Bay perspective, you all know that our mandate is to grow our city, to bring industry and jobs to our city. And I will say this investment, when you actually pay for your building permit, by the way, we will have a record year in construction. So thank you very much for that. And to our seniors, they have built our country. They've built our province, they've built our city, and I just want to thank you. I had the opportunity to meet you when we walked in. It was good to see you, and you look well. Yeah, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to turn the podium back over to Premier Ford.
All right, we'll take questions at the mic. Just a reminder, it's one question, one follow-up. Your first question comes from Eric from CTV.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Premier. Thanks for taking my question today.
Thank you.
The NDP have issued a statement, the Ethics and Accountability critic, regarding your $1,000 burger fundraiser today. Can you just respond to that, please? They're saying it's not appropriate at this time. Thank you.
Well, the NDP, they can say what they want. They have their fundraisers. That's the way the political system runs. We're going into the election year, and we're going to have a good time meeting the people up in North Bay and thanking them.
And just a question regarding this project. Do we have a cost? I know it's a $4.9 billion project, but can you kind of explain how much this is going to cost the city of North Bay and our taxpayers? Thank you.
Well, I'll pass that over to Rod, if you want to come up here. I know it's a $55 million project. We're investing $4.9 billion right across the province. Well,
And the Premier is correct. It's $55 million coming from the private investor, from Sienna. We have a mix of the types of investments. We have municipal homes. We have homes like this one, where the province provides a subsidy is over the length of time of the contract. So that's where the almost $5 billion of investment is going to make sure, in addition to the other money that's invested, that the facility has the 4 hours of care that was promised.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from Richard from mynorthbay.com.
hi, Richard. How are you?
Very good yourself, Premier.
to see
Thanks
you
for taking
again.
my questions.
Thank you.
How key is this project in building on the decades of neglect as described?
I think it's absolutely critical throughout government after government of all political stripes, Richard. Long-term care was ignored. Now we're pouring money into long-term care through infrastructure, along with hiring 27,000 new PSWs. So folks, if you're out there and you're interested in a great career and a very giving career, please join up to one of the programs and become a PSW. And it's someone that really has a passion for taking care of our seniors. If you get involved in that, and we're very grateful. But it's going to, we're pushing it along. We're going to hit our 30,000 target over the next few years. And we can't do it without the cooperation of long-term care providers, the residents themselves, and local mayors. I know Mayor was up here giving us kudos, but you couldn't ask for a better mayor in North Bay, and that's coming from a previous mayor, Vic Fedeli. They work well together, and Mayor McDonald's shown great leadership throughout this pandemic, and he's going to help get the permits done here and really move things along quite rapidly. But thank you for that, Richard.
Okay, follow up, I guess, switching gears a little bit, but still with long-term care, with the Castle Home redevelopment and the financing guarantee that's being required of the member municipalities. Is there anything the province can do to ease their concerns over having to finance that?
Well, I'm going to pass that back over to the Minister of Long-Term Care.
Thank you for the question. Mayor McDonald mentioned that we'll probably chat in the next little while about the Castle Home situation. Of course, Infrastructure Ontario is the funding unit that works through the Ministry of Long-Term Care to provide funding. That's, in this case, $65 million. That's the commitment that the province has made, along the same terms as all the other municipalities. Castle Home has also received about a 33% increase in funding this year on an operating basis. So the province is fully behind both the ongoing operations and the redevelopment. But that model that we've used is the same model that's used for the other 100 municipal homes. It makes sure that the province's money is there, that $65 million is there, and obviously involves partners as well with the municipalities.
I just want to add to what Rod, if folks never have an opportunity to see the people behind the scenes. Infrastructure Ontario, one of the best agencies anywhere. You know, they're, what is it, 90% on budget, on time. They're super bright individuals at Infrastructure Ontario, and they're handling so many different items from anything to do with infrastructure, be it the subways, long-term care homes, hospitals, schools. But I just want to give a shout out to all the hardworking people that we called IO, Infrastructure Ontario, and we have the best of the point around the world. They use their model in getting infrastructure done, so we're very grateful for all the work. You just never have a chance to see these great people that are doing the hard work.
Your next question comes from Clark with Your TV.
Hi Clark, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks, Premier, for taking our questions.
Thank you.
Concerning coronavirus restrictions, are there benchmarks or potential indicators that you're looking for to remove the mask mandate?
Yeah, well, we're going to work continuously with Dr. Moore and the health team on a daily basis. I know, Vic, you were saying you were on the phone with Dr. Moore today, and we're just going to follow their guidelines. They're the experts, and we're just going to work day in and day out. Number one, to get every single business open in this province, get them back on their feet, but we're going to do it cautiously too. So, we're going to take the directions from the health team and work with them.
And just as a follow-up concerning restrictions, if all goes according to plan, hopefully following 21 days of step 3, what happens after that?
Well, again, we'll be working with the health team. We'll be rolling that out shortly over the next 3 weeks. We want to get to step 3. I know everyone is quite happy in step 2. Clark, I was hearing the story from my 5 girls, and they were so pumped up about getting their hairs done, their nails done, manicure, pedicure, and the whole shebang. My goodness. And I'm so happy for the owners of the salons and barbers and personal care. They've really had a tough time. So I'm just so happy we're able to move forward.
Your next question comes from Stu from Bay Today.
Hi, Stu. How you doing?
Premier Ford, nice to see you got a haircut too.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
I just came back on Friday from mine. For you, sir, I'd like to kind of double back to the PSW piece.
Yes.
So, a lot of talk about training, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's pay these people.
Yeah.
Some of these, predominantly a female workforce, a lot of single mothers have to work 3 or 4 jobs to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Training them is great, but there has to be a reason for them to show up.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So we're the first government to come along and say that they deserve more money. I've said it publicly. We gave them a $3 an hour bump in pay. We're going to make sure we make that 100%. I know it was temporary, but they're going to have a $3 increase in pay. I've always said, folks, PSWs are overworked, underpaid, and they deserve every single penny times 10. So we're going to keep that in place, the $3 an hour pay for them.
That's a wonderful guarantee.
Yeah, well, it's a guaranteed. We're going to do it.
Thank you, Premier.
I'm just so grateful for all the work they do. Hardest working people out there. Thank you.
And your final questions come from Jamie with City TV.
Oh, Jamie, you made it up here. Oh, yeah. What happened to your haircut, by the way? I thought you were getting your haircut.
Popularity polling says that it should stay long.
Okay.
The long-term care breakout in Burlington. What happened there? Why do we have a breakout in a nursing home again?
Well, the only way it's coming in is unfortunately through people from the outside. And you know, I love the PSWs. We need to see more PSWs get vaccinated. They really do, and they're the best people in the world. I know there's some hesitancy, but we just can't risk it with our seniors right now. I know one person there, and actually 2 staff, I understand, and some residents. But folks, if you work at a long-term care, we haven't made it mandatory. I don't believe in forcing vaccines on everyone, but think of the people you're taking care of. Think of their families. Think of your families. Please, I beg you, please get vaccinated. That's the only way it's coming in, Jamie, like it came in before. We have close to 100% of all the residents vaccinated. Matter of fact, we have them double vaccinated. So please get vaccinated. That's my plea.
I guess they can't be mandatory for them to be vaccinated. But then I'm going to switch my second question to the numbers. Very low today, lowest for a long time. And also, the border restrictions are coming down. With the numbers being so low, is it time to open up the border? I know you've been advocating.
Well, I know today for non-essential, items. I'm sorry, for essential going down the U.S. But we're working closely with the federal government, and we'll take a look at it when it rolls around on July the 21st. And as long as people get double vaccinated and they're safe coming into the country, and they get the PCR test, and I appreciate the federal government stepping it up when it comes to the borders now. So let's all work together, and let's do everything we can to get things back to normal. Before I end this, I'd like to call Elaine and Tina up here for a minute. Elaine is the representative for long-term care residents, and Tina is the commander-in-chief. She runs everything. And oh, thank you. Oh boy. Well, these 3 women run the whole show, and I'm very, very grateful for everything you do. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to come back and pay you a visit in your new.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
We're very honored to have you in North Bay.
Well, thank you, Elaine.
And we love our Waters Edge community, and
Yes.
I agree with Stu that mentioned about the PSWs.
Yes.
They do a tremendous job.
Do they ever?
And I just love being the president of the resident council, and we have very good cooperation, and we're very excited to see the new building. I'm hoping that I'll get to see it. I'm going to be 90 the end of the month, and I hope you get that building up as soon as
yeah. Well,
It's wonderful to have you.
Well, Elaine, thank you so much, and thank all of you for doing great work. It sounds like Elaine's running in the next election, so Vic or Mayor, you better be careful. But
She's our #1 campaigner.
I know, that's great. Again, thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, folks, thank you so much. Great to see everyone.